Hello everyone, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. My name is Santi Indra Astuti. You can call me Santi. I'm from Indonesia, from a community-based organization called Mafindo or Masyarakat Anti Fitnah Indonesia. So today I would like to share to you about Indonesia and the state of infodemic and how we try to fight the infodemic. So a quick look about Indonesia. We are big country. We are located in equatorial line in Asia part. We comprises of 13,677 island. We also have a big population. So our population right now is 266.91 millions and about 64% of it is internet users, still a big number. So this is our digital profile in 2020 based on our recent data. The internet user in Indonesia is 64%, and we spend a lot of time in internet, in digital platforms. So you can see that about 7 hours 59 minutes, nearly 8 hours spent on the digital platform. Our internet profile user is growing, and the social media users in Indonesia are also high. We have 160 million of social media users. It means 59% of our population. Indonesians spend about 3 hours and 43 minutes daily in social media users. What they do in digital platform, watching online videos 99%, and then watching vlogs 79%. We love to hear music, so thank you very much, Liz, for giving us a list of Spotify, because it's also one of the most popular in Indonesia. We love music so much. Listens to music streaming is also the third largest activities of Indonesia right now. YouTube considers very popular in Indonesia, followed by WhatsApp, Facebook, and also Instagram. Okay, enough about Indonesian profile, and now I would like to share to you about Indonesia and the health misinformation problems in the country. Actually, there is nothing new with health misinformation in Indonesia. 2 years ago, we have an incident where a massive vaccination campaign against measles and rubella in Indonesia is in health. The vaccination rate is drops from 95% to 68% in the second phase. Oh, I'm talking about the vaccination of measles and rubella. This is because a fatwa declared by the Indonesian Ulama Council in Jakarta, declaring that the vaccine is haram or forbidden under Islamic law because pig component is suspected to be used in its manufacturing. For those who are not really familiar with Islamic terms, a decree means a fatwa means a decree released by the ulama for their followers. As an Islamic followers, I have to obey the fatwa no matter what. And this is happened in Indonesia when the massive campaign of MMR is happening, and the result is clearly devastated. What happened in the campaign and the incident in the previous slide is actually reflected a long battle between two groups of anti-vax and pro-vax in Indonesia. So this is the data that displayed that battle between two groups. The red dot represent the anti-vax and the blue dot represent the pro-vax group. The silent majority here, the green one, is actually the game changer of this situation, but you can also see that over the years there is a growing followers of the anti-vax due to their tactical, strategical, and clever and aggressive campaign. So this is pose a problem in Indonesia. So regarding the pandemic, COVID-19 is officially declared in Indonesia in February, and coronavirus cases in Indonesia is growing high right now. We are ranked 21 in the world, but ranks number one in ASEAN countries. The number of the recovered patients is growing high, but actually the active cases every day, the number of people get infected also growing each day. So that's why Indonesia is still has in a long battle with the COVID-19. What also for me is very sad is the fact that health workers do deaths due to the COVID-19 is 21 for each 100,000 of health workers. So this is pose a great number. So we have problems with the battle pro-vax and anti-vax. We also have problems, of course, in pandemic, and now in the crisis, we also have this infodemic. So I would like to share about the proliferation of hoax or infodemic during the pandemic. Okay, first of all, before I share to you about the hoax of COVID-19 in Indonesia, I would like to share to you about how older population in Indonesia receive COVID-19 information. This is very important because we can see that the older population here are the people who have a high risk or bigger risk in terms of pandemic. So older population in Indonesia may use different sources of information. You can see here that 89% are watching television, gaining from television much information about COVID-19, 58% from friends and family, and 46% from social media. Misinformation in Indonesia about COVID-19 is like a tsunami. Almost everyone has received it. They admit to have it. But you can see based on this survey about the awareness of receiving hoax, most likely 30% stated that they never receiving hoax, means that they are not aware of receiving hoax. 30% is a huge number for Indonesian. And this is also the data about online conversation driven by retweets. Yeah, you can see that the distribution types of tweets here in the last 3 months here. As it can be seen, the main driver of the overall activity is made of retweets, which means that the main conversation is shaped by a relatively small number of influencers, but they are posed to be very influential. Their posts also widely amplified by their followers. The dynamic RRI in the last 3 months, here the data, so the dynamic pattern of infodemic risk shows substantial variability, further suggesting a far from stable situation despite of the relatively low infodemic profile, which seems to be open to many possible future scenarios, for good or for bad. Talking about the level of infodemic risk, it is not always associated with socioeconomic level. But in terms of infodemic risk among neighboring countries, Indonesia has high infodemic risk compared to the Philippines. Since January, we are collecting hoax about COVID-19 in Indonesia. So the hoax about health misinfodemic is represented by the red lines, and the non-health hoax topic is represented in the blue lines. So you can see that a surge of hoaxes at the beginning of the outbreak, it gaining bigger. Getting bigger in the around March to April, and declining again in the next month, but still has a relatively big number. The exact number of the hoaxes regarding COVID-19 will be described in the next slides. In Mavindo, we also classified hoaxes about COVID-19 that we debunk based on certain topics. So we have a hoax topic on vaccine, government response and policy, behavior, conspiracy theory also at play, treatment and drugs, infection and transmission. So you may see here that big number of topic of COVID-19 hoax is about government response and policy, and also about infection and transmission. But right now, as the rumor about vaccination is coming, you can see that the hoaxes about vaccine slowly is increasing. So reported hoaxes mostly spread via Facebook and WhatsApp using images to convince viewers. But my concern here is that the fact that the hoaxes delivered or spread through WhatsApp, many of it is without any claim of evidence, just text only. But people still do believe it and share it anyway. This is the data about reported hoaxes originate internationally across topic, but those related to government response are mostly domestic. You can see here that a high percentage of the hoaxes are extracting or talking about domestic situation, and this mostly attacking the government. Okay, in the previous slides, I give you the hoax composition in terms of percentage, but this is the number of the reported COVID-19 hoaxes as collected and debunked by our fact checkers. So we start with 19 in January, and going on the top 158 during in March, mostly about transmission and government responses and people or area which get infected. And right now it is going down slowly to 37, mostly about vaccination here. Around 600 reported hoaxes has been collected by our fact checkers. This is the most popular hoaxes about COVID-19 in Indonesia, from incidents to Wuhan, hard-boiled egg, and microchip inside the vaccine. I will tell you later about this. So this is hoaxes about how local authorities, police in China, trying to stop suspected positive COVID patients who trying to escape during the scenario of lockdown. This was circled around us in around February to March, and has a very popular at that time. Okay, regarding these hoaxes, this is very local. I think you won't see this in any other countries or in your country. This hoax is talking about a baby born at midnight, and this baby who just born can talk and speak. Uh, the baby was reported talking to people. Please, if you want to save your family from coronavirus, then give them a hard-boiled egg. And people in that area, in several cities in Sulawesi, just swarming around the market at midnight to find and to buy hard-boiled eggs. Can you imagine? But this is one of the notable hoaxes in Indonesia. Another very popular hoaxes is about suspected microchip in a vaccination. Why this microchip is implanted in the vaccine program? Because according to that hoaxes, the hoax, it is because the government has a evil scheme to eradicate 7.5 Muslim population in the country. Wow. So what is the trends and major challenge that we face right now regarding the hoax of COVID-19? Okay, we see a decreasing in quantity but increasing in quality, severity, and its urgency. Hoax actors have various motivation, from mental issue, money, and to old celebrity effort to gain attention. This exposure Thus potential new business. So more and more influencers are now swarming in the social media, and suddenly they became an expert of COVID-19. Netizens are fed up and began to confront hoax actors and message. The major challenge to tackle the problem is comes from long-time polarization that is still haunted the country after long battle of politics in the general election. We have also poor level of literacy among the people, uncoordinated public communication regarding the COVID-19 response, and also partisan media. Poor quality of journalism practice are also reported. So we have problems, we have major challenge, but also we have social capital. So after a massive campaign against hoaxes started in 2016, right now we have a high awareness on hoaxes. Okay, we still have this low level of literacy, but awareness on hoaxes is relatively high. Indonesian as also has a notable uh, in social cohesion. We rank very high on the focus of the common good. It means that we have high solidarity and helpfulness, respect for social rules, and also civic participation. This is associated with the strong tradition of community engagement in Indonesia. We have a traditional value, but it's still implanted, it's still became part of the today's norms. It is called gotong royong or community engagement. Gotong royong is inherently in Indonesian values. Also, it creates voluntarism and collectivism to do good. So social cohesion and also a notable norms inherently in gotong royong community engagement. No wonder in people we trust. So in the next slide, I will talk to you about building community engagement. Okay, speaking about community engagement, now I want talk to you about Mafindo or Masyarakat Anti Fitnah Indonesia, a community-based organization which I belong to. Started from a Facebook group. Right now we are growing to be a NGO. We have 85,000 of member in the Facebook group, but right now about 500 volunteers are recorded as part of Mafindo in the NGO. We have 17 chapters all around Indonesia. This group of volunteers are actively right now engaged with the local authorities and local community in the fight against hoaxes and also against this infodemic. This is the core ideas why we set up or establish Mafindo. It is start from the core ideas that society problems such as hoaxes should be fixed by the society itself. We help avoid legal action because it cannot scale with the problem. Avoid as much government intervention as possible. By that way, we maintain our credibility and our independency. Ensure freedom of speech and freedom of expression by avoiding the need to censorship by government. By this way, we try to maintain a good relationship and strengthen press freedom as well, and empower people to combat hoaxes. So this is an overview of our programs from crowdsourced fact-checking, giving training, doing media campaign, developing tools and materials. We develop tools for help people identifying fake news, and also we giving training for local government, for teacher, for others in health sector also. We have collaboration with other partners as well, from develop curriculum to giving training and also doing campaign. The Mavindo roadmap for action is actually adopting the inoculation model. So we see that hoaxes is became the virus in the field. To fight the virus, we need the antivirus. It is a hoaxbuster also law enforcement, restorative justice, and also we need vaccine to empower people in long-term battle. And this is the literacy, digital information, and also media literacy. So this is the MAVIN roadmap for action based on inoculation model. But now we are having a huge problem with this pandemic. So fighting infodemic is not a usual business that we do. We need counter narration, we need fast action network, and also we're trying to boost our volunteers in the field with personal development because they need more to do more in the field. So this is our infodemic responses since the outbreak coming, the pandemic coming in Indonesia. First COVID-19 hoax debunked on 24th January 2020. At that month, we only collected and have a gaining report of 19 hoaxes, only 19. But in the following months, it getting higher and higher. We also collaborate with Kawal COVID-19 community on 1st March 2020, created COVID-19 hoax task force, joined Indonesian COVID-19 task force, and coordinate with task force and national police on high-risk hoaxes. Also, part of our infodemic responses is significantly prioritize MAVINDO's research team and capacity and capability. So, understanding that the problem of Indonesia, also the digital gap around communities in Indonesia, we are also participate in offline campaigns started by our volunteers, but also opening collaboration with other as well, such as offline campaigns with Ayo Lawan COVID-19 ID. In many ways, we are also supporting other organization campaign. I will talk to you later about this. And mainly what we do is advocate all parties on the danger of blood-related hoaxes since the beginning and rally all parties to prioritize this issue. This is an example of information protocol pivoted to COVID-19 that we built for volunteers, and this is followed by capacity building. This protocol is asking people to carefully consider the information that they receive and try to identify the sources, whether it is hoax or not, and try to hold themselves not to share it instantly, though it seems very, very important. Okay, another program that also organized by our volunteers is a small-scale community engagement called Cantelan. This is happened in Jakarta. You see that during the first weeks of lockdown, people get frustrated, especially poor family in the urban city, because their income is lost. So Cantelan means a bag contained with raw food and essentials for life attached in the fences. People can freely take it if they need it. So Puji organized this activity as a charity event. She and her friends provide a bag of food and other essentials for life and attach it in the fences. So you can see that people here mostly are housewives queuing to take that. And during this process, Puji and other volunteers educate others, educate housewife about the importance of hearing valid information, and also asking them to always maintaining and obey the protocol of COVID-19. This small-scale community engagement getting bigger and getting larger and attract others to also participate in the activities. So from small-scale community engagement, we move to city-scale community engagement. This is initiated by our volunteers in Yogyakarta. Our volunteers organize a campaign as a guardian of the city. Guardian for what? Guarding city to build resilience among people, against the pandemic and infodemic. So this is happening in Yogyakarta in the first week of August 2020. Within this week, there is a closure of the city. The center of the city became the center of the campaign for staying safe, and also by this way asking people also to fight the infodemic as well. So briefly to say that to fight the infodemic, there's no one way that works to be magic cure for every problem. We need whole brain engaged, and for us it means maximizing social capital. Maximizing social capital means upscaling the collaborations. So the factors that we have to maintain is trust, resilience, and also sustainability in international level, regional, and national. How to do it? Collaboration between media, social media orchestration, government, health institution, education institution, so civil society, and international organization as well. This is what we mean with upscaling the collaboration. To fight the infodemy needs works together. So this is also other campaign that initiated by local government, by the RCCE group, and also by other civil society organization like JAPELIDI, or Jaringan Pegiat Literasi Digital. It means a network of digital literacy activists. Indonesia is a big country with so many ethnic groups, so it is important also to formulate our campaign addressing this situation. What Japelidi do here is very iconic because they doing their campaign by translating the material of the campaign to 43 local languages in Indonesia. By that way, they can address and they can also reach many ethnic group in Indonesia. They doing their campaign online and also offline, when it is possible. So, what's our plan next? How will we work in the future? The idea of social inoculation is promoted by one of our friend here, and since July, since June, we built a working group to further discuss about the social inoculation. I don't want to talk to you much about it. I just want to share to you this slide because tada, I'm very fond with this icon, the badak corn, as the hybrid of super unicorn and super team that will be trying to fight the infodemic with a social inoculation way. Understanding that data is the key in social inoculation approach, this is our future plan. First of all, we right now is preparing research on KAP, preparing design message intervention based on the KAP, and also trying to monitoring narration. In the second phase, in the second step, we will building dashboard to monitoring the evolving narration, tracking misinformation, and also tracking behavior changing, responding to the upcoming vaccination. Well, that's all my presentation today. I'm talking about the state of infodemic in Indonesia and how we try to fight the infodemic by building community engagement in very small scale. Mavindo is just one of others community who try to fight this pandemic and also try to build resilience people against the infodemic. However small we are, I do believe that what we do is significantly contribute in the solution to the problem, because whether it is not about big and small, it is about how we try to giving contribution, and how we try to become an agent, game changers in the effort as you do. Thank you very much. So any advice, comments, and suggestion, any question, we can share in the next session. Also, you can share it to me through my email. I'm also part of this group. Together we care, Unicorn Rules.